Hello, gorgeous. I made it back home. Okay, so we need to talk about the planetary energies, but I'm gonna do that in a bit. I might do an intuitive pull. I haven't been able to talk about my nail growth journey here because I did make a separate page about it, but what's it called? I will be randomly incorporating. The reason I'm bringing that up is because just as I went through growth in a skill that I'm trying to grow my skill set in, so have y'all. But also, another thing is you're like simultaneously, your mastery is coming through. That's something that the Vedic Astrology portal energy that just passed right now in June 20th, was trying to tell us essentially with Gemini and Cancer merging. And I was getting prepared for Landscape Portal or for Leo season, to kind of come through. But before that, there's an entire, Gemini / Cancer season in Vedic astrology. And then technically it's Cancer season in August for Vedic astrology. But for tropical Western astrology, it's already, Leo season. Whichever vibe you go through, I'm just very excited because this is also going to be the days leading up to the very hype, most powerful, potent energy for Mayan astrology and what Mayan astrologers had discovered, about July 25th. I'm going to be talking about that day, but I am just an enthusiast. I do suggest that y'all go support local astrologers that have already mastered themselves in Mayan astrology. I am mastering Vedic astrology, even if I'm an enthusiast of the other astrology systems, because I do like to, it's part of cosmology and astrology magic and stuff like that. But this portal is essentially like, hey, you look at all the work that you've done. Look at all the work that you've done for the last couple of years. Pay attention to what's going on with your body. Yes, you do have to pay attention to what's going on with your body. But also, what you say will come into existence, fruition. If you notice that your albums are merging with your partner, or if you're going to be receiving a partner, or if you're growing with your partner, like the growing pains are about to solidify, and everything that's been kind of coming through, even with all the challenges that have been kind of forming themselves, even if you were crying, even if there was shadow work, the whole 9 yards, like you're really understanding that now you're establishing yourself in your own mastery, in your own home base, in your own created base, and the roots are growing further. You're growing more. And I feel like this energy is really concretely like saying that with Uranus being in Taurus, we're really going to feel that comfort. We're really going to be feeling that stability that we need to be feeling, especially as we do move on in the year and we start to plant the new seeds and we start to prepare magically for all of the things that we want to accomplish in 2027, especially as it pertains to the collective. If you're still on a mission and the missions that you already closed out, that you no longer have to refulfill, let the other new age, let the new collective or the mid collective, the people that are no longer new, but they're not mastery just yet, let the initiates take care of some of the things. It is their responsibility to grow their intuitive downloads. Also, another thing that I want to say is common misconceptions around, and illusions around wisdom, where we receive the wisdom, is going to be coming to fruition for a lot of the collective, okay? Understanding that misconceptions and illusions and sometimes like incorrect or false downloads from people that don't like to stay in their lane and they like to over accomplish or say that they're more than they really are, those spiritualists are going to be exposed, okay? I feel like it's going to be through their own action or by their own hand that they sowed, essentially, because they don't know all the answers that they can provide to their clientele. And so they're going to have to learn those lessons, especially because you learn your mastery. They can't access, and divinate on you anymore. You're protected. There's only so much they can gather or pick up. It's for a purpose. It's for a reason, okay? I want this collective to really be focusing on, honing in on your skills, not be apologetic, but not over explaining yourself too much. And also, I feel like this collective is going to be now setting the right boundaries. Now that you understand how you move in this world, now that you understand how you fit into the spiritual streets, now that you understand the growth that you've been through, now that you understand how selective you need to be, and now that you understand all of the different potential perspectives that could come through, and when people are telling you their stories, or when they're telling you their wisdom, or when they're telling you their intuitive downloads, they're saying it from their perspective, from their biases, from their upbringing. So you understand that on a foundational level, and you've been really, really respecting yourself and understanding how important this all is. And I feel like spirits, like, let the roots sink in. Also, I feel like with that like you're discerning more, and you're talking to your ancestors, you're talking to your own personal, angels, you're talking to your own personal team a lot more. And I feel like the challenges that we had to go through, they were heartbreaking, they were challenging, they broke us at some points, and yes, I was right there with you, I do understand, but like at the same time, they molded us to be in the positions that we're in now, and now you are flowing with magic, and you're flowing with energy, and your rituals are happening, and your divination is on point because of all of the work that has been done. Yes, some of it was not in your control, and it was the manifestation of others, but you being able to overcome that, those challenges, breaking free from those contracts that other people tried to project on you, that is so freaking potent and powerful. Okay, so while you might be learning a new skill because you're forever going to be, this is a collective that's forever going to be a student and a teacher, and yes, you've mastered certain things and you're teaching in those masteries, but you're also staying a student in other things to keep yourself diverse and to keep yourself grounded. Especially if you're a cusp baby, this is so important. I will talk about this in another video. I haven't talked about it, the Cusp Collective, in a hot minute. I'm going to be doing another series here pretty soon about certain POVs and certain lifestyle decisions and things like that. If you're in the spiritual, realm, if you're an astrologer, if you are an intuitive, if you're a psychic, or if you're a witchy person, a brujeria person, whatever. As a devotee of Aphrodite, but also Santa, and also, or Santissima, and also, the goddesses, but also I do work with, certain archangels and things like that, because angels were the first. If you grew up as a Catholic, right, like if it's in your astrology, which in mine it happens to be in my astrology, in the most unorthodox way, you will be introduced, or you will come back to, what you grew up in, but from a whole higher level, different, perspective, no longer from the warped perspective of what you thought it was. There are going to be heavy themes around. So Gemini season is, or even though it's ending and all that, and Cancer season is about secrets being revealed and all that, right? Truth being exposed. But I feel like this is because, like, the rumors of spirits that have been going around for too damn long, that misconception is finally ending. Okay. Even if including, but not limited to, trigger warning, the actual, God, right? Because so many of us have been triggered one way or another, from religious persecution and whatnot. But I feel like you are going to have a relationship with the universe, with source. And you're going to understand, how God or goddess, works out, how this all transpires, how this is all fitting, how this all molds. Okay, and it's no longer going to be from the very perception where you took accountability, you realize, like, okay, as I learned and as I grew, I now change my perspective on all of these things, from all of these rumors, from all of these people that were giving me their perspective on and projecting onto me what in the world should have or may have, or what, no, blah, 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 how we're supposed. No, you now stand in your own authority and do it how you need to, how you're meant to, and it's brought you back full circle. Okay, in a positive way for once in your life, where now, the main spirits are working with you, are working alongside you, are showing you the pathway, are telling you, hey, like, I know you heard all these things, blah, blah, blah. We got you the right tools, blah, 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 because we needed you to connect with us directly, even through all the BS, cut through all the BS, cut through all the limited perspectives, cut through all the pain, and turn it into power and transmute it into resource, into rainbow energy, rainbow flame energy, into, you, inner beauty coming out and expressing itself, and out of toxic relationships that never respected you, and into better relationships, friendships, acquaintances, networking, your partner that was always going to respect you, so that you can continue to master all of the seeds that you planted back in 2023. So many confirmations. Okay, if you see the number 533, this is for you. 717, this is for you. 818, this is for you. 1212, this is for you. 1111, this is for you. And 1015 and 1010, also the number 16. I love you.